And now from our studios in downtown Winnipeg, it's time for 107 Live.
It's not every day I'm joined by an accomplished, internationally recognized violinist in the Diamond Lane. Even more rare is being joined by two of them. Gwen Hoebig and Karl Stobbe are two of our city's most prominent musicians. You've no doubt seen them on the Centennial Concert Hall stage, sitting side by side as Concertmaster and Associate Concertmaster of the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. They've both joined me in the Diamond Lane for a 107 Live performance with selections from the Opus 3 Sonatas for two violins by Jean-Marie Leclerc. In the Diamond Lane, you heard Gwen Hoebig and Karl Stobbe performing a selection from the Opus 3 Sonatas for two violins by Jean-Marie Leclerc. Welcome back, both, to Classic 107. What a pleasure it is to have you here in the studio. Hey.
We are just thrilled to be here, and we are thrilled that it is the 5th birthday. I find it hard to believe that 107 has both only been here for 5 years and has also been here for 5 years.
And what a birthday treat this has been. That music is just so marvelous. That music of Jean-Marie Leclerc, known as the father of the French violin. To me as a listener, as someone who has heard it before, it is colorful, it is lyrical, but it also has this competitive sort of edge with the two violins. Karl, what's it like to play?
First of all, it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
We've had a great time. We played all 6 of the Opus 3s. We've recorded them. We started playing them really when we both were in Winnipeg, I guess, for about 20 years almost. We started playing them, and I don't know, I guess 3 or 4 years ago we thought, gosh, we should record them. They're a lot of fun. They haven't been recorded a lot, or hardly at all, actually. And as you said, they're really colorful, fun pieces, and so we recorded them there. And playing it with, I get to play with a great violinist, so playing with other great people makes you better.
Yeah, it's almost like you're motivating each other. I had to take the headphones off when you guys were playing just to hear the sound, and what a marvelous sound it is. Gwen, Karl just mentioned that you guys have been performing it together, the music of Leclerc, for 20-something years. What's that like, to perform that music of Leclerc over such a long period of time?
It's very satisfying. Karl and I really, or at least Karl inspires me to be better, and I think we do that for each other, and that's part of what makes our teamwork so inspiring for me, is that we inspire each other, and Karl is an awesome violinist, and he practices like crazy, and I wish I had half the energy that he has to devote to it. But it's just so much fun, and he makes me better, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this together, because we have a really good time. We have lots of laughs.
Yeah.
And we are also pretty tough on each other, and it's like if something's not right, we try and figure it out, and we're pretty direct about it all. But it is an enormous amount of pleasure just to be able to play well with a really great friend.
I imagine it also helps with things like intonation or phrasing, just having sat beside each other for so long and being friends for so long over that period. Do you find yourself, almost this symbiotic sort of relationship where you're like, hey, that's exactly what I was going to do? Do you feel that way, Karl?
Sometimes that's exactly what I was going to do, and sometimes it's not at all what I was going to do. And so then, you figure out and you learn, and those are the times when you really improve each other, because you learn somebody else's idea and you kind of take it into yourself, and it becomes a part of your own repertoire. And as you said earlier, there's something competitive about this music, and that's true. There's always this play of, she plays something, I play something, I play something, she plays something, and you've got to take that and you inject your own soul into it, but at the same time you have to take what the other person gave you as well.
And I guess that competitive edge and that collaboration ultimately culminated in this CD, this great CD of the Leclerc violin sonatas, which you mentioned hasn't been recorded a lot, I don't think. Gwen, what made you want to record them with Karl?
Just the option of being able to do something that, it's very hard to find a great music that hasn't been recorded a lot, because recordings are so prevalent nowadays. And you're always looking as a player for the unknown gem, and they're harder and harder to find. And when, I don't know if it was you or I who came up with the idea, it was probably you, because you are the recording king. But just being able, the idea came to fruition, and we just sort of said, okay, let's go for it. And so we did. And it was really great. It came at a really great time for me to be able to do this, and so it's been a very special project for me.
So that album released earlier this year in 2018 on the Analecta label. I always love playing it here on the station. I know we always love playing it. And the thing that I always feel most proud to say is Winnipeg's own. You just heard Gwen Hoebig and Karl Stobbe on the violins performing the music of Leclerc. Now, that being said, you both weren't born in the city of Winnipeg, is that right? Are you both from BC?
Yeah, we're both BCers.
born?
I'm from Prince George, and she's from North Van, West?
Well, I grew up in North Vancouver. Yeah.
And I imagine you didn't want to leave for the weather, but you guys have...
Actually, I was quite happy to leave because I don't like gray weather.
Yeah.
Like this fall.
Yeah, we've been particularly gray. Even this week in general has been very, very gray, which is a little unusual for us here in the city. But that being said, you've both been here for 2 decades. What do you enjoy most about the city of Winnipeg?
The people.
The people? What about you, Karl?
Oh, yeah. The people, the weather. I love the weather. I love 4 seasons. My wife probably doesn't love the winters as much as I love the winters, but I like the winters. I love skating on the river. I play hockey once every week, although the people I play hockey with might argue that I'm really playing hockey. I skate around, try not to fall too much, and
it's better than me, I can tell you that much. I can't stop. So I was just talking about this earlier today. I would run into the boards. So I mean, you're doing better than me, I'm sure.
Well, anyway, there's a lot about Winnipeg to love. There's a lot of great music that happens. we have a great orchestra, and I have a lot of musical outlets here. And that's what when you decide at some point in your young life that you're going to play the violin as a profession for the rest of your life, you hope that you're going to find a place that you enjoy doing that, where there's opportunities to learn, to grow, to play with fun people, to all those things. And Winnipeg has all those things.
Gwen, for you, I mean, you're just speaking to the people, and I imagine it's very a similar sentiment to what Karl just beautifully put. But for you, how do the musicians, the people here in the city, motivate you as a player and as a musician?
I think we have an unbelievably high level of musicians in this community. And what is extraordinarily rare from everybody I've met everywhere is that we all get along very well as musicians. And we are all very, very happy to play together. We're all very happy to teach. We all teach, and we all have wonderful students. Karl and I are now doing master classes together with our kids.
Oh, nice.
And we both really enjoy that as well. We have a wonderful orchestra. The orchestra is unusually cohesive socially as well as musically, I like to think. But it's just that it's a real community, and having a community to be part of your work that is positive, there is nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
And can I say also, we have kids that are the same age, and they always hang out, and they hang out with a couple other kids in the orchestra. They call themselves the squad.
Nice.
And they play together. They play music together. They fish together. My son fishes tons, and they hang out at the lake here, everywhere. I mean, they're always together, those ones.
So, I mean, you mentioned the families, and I need to ask, I mean, you're both talented players. You mentioned they make music together. How big of a role does music play in each of your families and then the families together? Gwen?
Well, my particular family is huge because both of our children have decided that they want to pursue music in university.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, while the other 4 kids who are part of their squad are not necessarily going to pursue music, the 2 who have graduated from high school and who are in first-year university, along with my son, are both in orchestras and playing a lot, and still very much part of their lives. And that's just really wonderful for us, just knowing that what we do is valued by them as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that both Alexander and Juliana have performed here in the studio before, incredibly talented musicians. Karl, what about for you? I'm just curious, for you and the family, I mean, if you're making music together, I'm wondering, has anyone else taken up the art of instrument restoration in the family?
No,
you're not mentoring anyone these days?
Well, I should never mentor anybody. I'm far too much of a hack at that. But most people know, I've taken a great love in the instruments themselves, and of course I have friends who are very good at that kind of thing. So once in a while I send them over there so they can get at least some kind of healthy education in it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're just so excited to have you here in the city. Your family's here in the city. And I'm sure people are going to see you on a stage soon here in town. Karl, in fact, tonight with the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra. There's a lot coming up. You're both active chamber players and, of course, with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. I want to thank you both for taking the time to come by Classic 107. This was a real pleasure, and I can't believe it hasn't happened before.
Oh, the 2 of us?
Yeah.
We certainly haven't been here together before.
No,
but
we have not.
It's
we'll come back.
Oh,
back.
Excellent.
10th anniversary,
5 years in the making. Can I ask you guys to play one more? Would that be all right?
Yes, we will do that.
Excellent. In the Diamond Lane, this is Gwen Hoebig and Karl Stobbe.
From our studios in downtown Winnipeg, you've been listening to 107 Live, Classic 107's intimate concert series, the soundtrack for your life.